Hi, I'm Ben,
And I'm Ernie.
and this is Budget Nerds.
What was all in your mind?
You are not alone.
No, you are not. Well, Ernie, today is story time. I had an experience while I was swimming at the YMCA, and because I'm always thinking about money, talking about money and stuff, it just my brain spun an analogy, and then the next day it spun even more analogy. And at YNAB, we love to take analogies as far as they could possibly go. So that's what we're doing. So I'm going to tell a little story, and then we're gonna talk about what it has to do with comparison. That's what we're going to talk about today.
I love
So
it. And
let's
you've
give that
already
a little
shared
tease.
this story. You went live
I
with
have.
it on Instagram. I thought it was fantastic. And so, yeah,
It worked,
not only are we
you know?
going to take this analogy as far as it can possibly go, we're going to get as much mileage out of it as we possibly can.
Yeah. I've told you guys about the content machine that I have going now, where I do an Instagram live. Actually, I've been doing Facebook lives recently instead. Live somewhere where I talk to like 10 people, and
I'm one of them.
and if it works, well, then more people watch a recording. But if it works and I don't like totally fail, then I write a blog about it, and if that feels good, then we talk about it on Budget Nerds, or vice versa. So, or we talk about it on Budget Nerds, and I write a blog about it. So there's a blog. It's called "What Does Swimming Fins Have to Do with Money?" And there's a live out there somewhere on Instagram if you want to find that. But you don't need to do that because we're going to tell you right now.
And we're going to cover way more details in this episode than you did in the live and in the blog post, probably combined.
Yes, Ernie has told me he's going to ask a lot of questions. So let's start. So, okay. Every morning for like 2 years, I have gone to the YMCA in my town. There's two YMCA's. This one's downtown. It's like, I love the vibe because it was built in like 1945 or something, some nonsense like that. Like, it's so super old, and like, I don't know, it's just got history,
Yeah.
So I drive down there, and it's just a nice place. If you haven't tried out your YMCA, it's the best thing. I mean, it's the best. Like, it's better than like some random gym like next to a grocery store, because they have like a pool, and they got they might have like a sauna. It's just like a legit thing, and it's pretty cheap for the whole family. Anyways, this is not an ad for YMCA. But I hear you can get a good meal, you can get yourself clean, you can do whatever you feel.
Take it away.
I don't think you can. Can you stay? Is that a thing where like people can stay at YMCA's anymore? I don't know. If
You're
that's
asking the wrong person.
a
I have
thing.
no clue.
I have no, because it's fun to stay at the YMCA. It's like people would live there, but like that's not a thing. Not at my YMCA. Let us know in the comments if you can like live in your YMCA. I'm curious.
I haven't been to a YMCA in, 5, 8, 10 years. It's been a while.
You can get the membership. You can do whatever you feel. I think they were exaggerating when they said that, but you can't. Turns out you can't do whatever you feel. But anyways, it's a great place. So I usually go, and I do a few things. Like I'll lift weights, which is my favorite thing because that's actually fun for me. I'll get on the elliptical, which is not fun. I'll get on the bike, which is not fun, or I'll shoot basketball, which is fun. Or I'll get in the sauna. I mean, there's so many things. There's so many things you can do. You can do whatever you feel.
I didn't know you shot hoops at the Y. That's awesome.
Well, it's great because I'm really bad at it, and I have to run around a lot because because the ball hits the rim and flies off, and I have to run over and get it. And
so
then
you're playing pickup games.
I have to do it again.
Or you're just shooting by
just
yourself.
Me. It's 6 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just me. Yeah, I'm just shooting by myself. It's a good way to get a little spurt of sprinting here and there, and it's fun. So
I love it.
It's something. I don't know if it's fun because I'm so bad at it, but so I do that. I also get in the sauna, which is the best thing ever, and I also swim. I swim laps, and I've been doing that for a long time. I used to have like a lot of lower back pain, and then I started doing backstroke in the at the YMCA, and like it went away.
Really?
So yeah, I mean, I still have some things sometimes, but like I haven't like thrown my back out where I'm like, oh, I can't move for a day or two. Like that's where I was for a while there, you know. So it's just gotten stronger.
Yeah, my back has been messed up since like
I feel like we talked about this.
September.
Yeah.
And it's more upper back pain, but I'm like, what is going on? Like I didn't do anything to it. It's just out of the blue. Maybe I need to start swimming. I need to go down to the YMCA,
maybe.
start swimming.
I think it helps because it's like especially backstrokes, it really like stretches you out.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
makes you stronger. Anyways, so I'm swimming. All right.
Yep.
I want to really set the stage here. There's two pools in the YMCA. Okay. There is the family pool, which is heated. And I don't really know why they call it the family pool because there's like never any kids there, but they're at least not at 6 a.m. I guess that's why. But there's usually like a awesome like water aerobics thing. Some of these people, man, I like talk to these people in the gym, and it's awkward because we're in the locker room and I don't really want to talk to you. But anyways, there's people they talk, and I always enjoy it when I do start chatting with people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I've been doing this water aerobics class for 40 years." Like not joking, like the same instructor, same people for like 40 years, and I'm like, this is awesome. It's so cool. And that's what I love is like there's this history. There's all different kinds of people. Like older, younger, different ethnicities, different socioeconomic levels. Like it's just a big mix of people, and it's really cool. But yeah, there's a lot of like older folks in there because I'm going early in the morning. So there's the family pool, and then there's the competition pool. Okay, and that is where it's not heated, and you can only swim laps. You're not allowed to do anything else. Okay, so it's called the competition pool. But it's not a competition, all right, Ernie? Like, calm down, right? You're not competing with anybody, but like I do kind of notice who's the fastest. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. How could you not?
Yeah. Well, my wife makes fun of me because she's like, I don't notice anyone. She's like, every time I talk about this on live or whatever, or when I was writing that blog, she's like, Ben, like I don't look at all. And I'm like, well, I do, and I'm never the fastest. Like hardly ever, because there's usually like one person my age or younger that's just like taking off, and I'm swimming backstroke, which is the slowest of the strokes.
Okay.
If you know you know. People make fun of backstroke people because it's like the lamest swimming stroke apparently, but I like it because I can breathe. Like your head is above water the whole time, so you don't drown.
Makes sense.
I don't know.
Yep.
I like it. We're gonna get all the swimmers in the comments on this one.
Like Ben,
they're like, well, Ben, if
you don't know what you're talking about.
Regulate and you're breathing properly, and it's like, listen, I took an intermediate swimming class in college 15 years ago. I know what I'm doing.
Okay, so you're in the competition pool, individual lanes. You're doing the backstroke, and you're slow.
I'm slow.
I got it,
and I'm cool with it. Cool with it. And I look over at the lane next to me, and there's somebody who is just absolutely hauling up and down lanes. And I'm like, okay, this is normal. Like usually there's somebody that's faster than me, and they're just like, poo, poo, poo. And like, but it didn't seem like they were like killing themselves or anything. Like they weren't going like super hard. They were just fast.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. And then I finally like took a break. I got up out of the water, and I saw that it was an old lady. It was like I don't know. She was like probably in her late 60s, 70s.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean that's not that old, but like she was older than me.
You. Yes,
and,
dominating.
Like she would definitely like get the discount at IHOP. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of thing. She probably doesn't go to IHOP because she's an awesome swimmer and she doesn't put bad food in her body. So she doesn't even need the discount, but she could get it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, what is going on? This old lady is like smoking me in this lane. And so I start swimming faster. I'm
Naturally.
like, I gotta, right. I mean, it's not a competition, Ernie, okay? And she doesn't care.
It's so much is. I get it. I get it.
It's not a competition, but like it is, especially when, because like I can accept if somebody that's like, that's clearly been swimming their whole life. Okay, this one it probably has. She's probably doing it for 40 years, just like all the aerobics people, water aerobics people. I can accept somebody younger than me. It's like, oh yeah, faster. That's natural. But like a person like twice my age that's just absolutely hauling past me, I'm like, okay, I got to do something about this.
Right,
so
and even if you can't beat her, at least show her that you deserve to be in that pool with her.
Right. Exactly. Like, I have a place here. Like, because sometimes, it's busy in the morning. Like in January, you have to share lanes. It's like a whole thing. Like, there's not always enough space for everyone. So you got to be like, hey, I'm not here to mess around.
Yep.
I'm going to do stuff, So anyways, I start puffing and puffing. I probably nearly drowned like 10 times. I even turned over. Like, I was doing this backstroke thing like I always do, and I'm like, this is too slow.
Game on.
I turned around, I did the butterfly, and the butterfly is like the opposite of the backstroke. It's like the highest effort stroke. It's like intense, and it's pretty fast. It's not as fast as freestyle, but anyways, but it's my best stroke, my fastest stroke. When I was at that intermediate college swimming class, I won the butterfly sprint, like two lap sprint. Yeah,
okay.
So kind of a big deal. Everybody was shocked, including me. But yeah, I won that. So that's my best stroke. So I was like, I'm gonna go into full range mode, and I'm just, and I probably had the best workout I've ever had in my life. It's just trying to keep
chasing the carrot.
Right? Okay, so here's what happened. I finally am like all tired out, and I look up and she's getting out of the pool. Okay, and what do I see? I see that she has 2 giant swimming fins on her feet. Okay. And I'm just like, oh, that's why she's so fast. Now, she might have been faster than me even without the swimming fins, but that was like why she was absolutely hauling, right? And so I'm just like, okay, I feel really silly, And I still had like 100 meters to go, which is like 4 laps, but I was like, you know what? I'm so tired. I'm all tuckered out. Decided to get out, and I spent a little extra time in the sauna because that's my happy place. And I just got to thinking, this is what I really like about swimming at the Y and also sitting in the sauna. Like, you can't have your phone with you. You're alone. You don't have to, you literally, you can't take care of children. There's nobody screaming in your face. Just your internal thoughts when a lady is smoking you beside you, right? But yeah, you just have your thoughts, and it's really, really nice. So I'm sitting there in the sauna thinking about money stuff and work, and my brain's always trying to make analogies. And I was like, okay, this is a lot like our experience with money. Okay. Sometimes we compare ourselves to our peers, or even in this case, people that are older than us, and we are frustrated because we feel like we're not going as fast as them. Like, these people are paying off debt really fast, or maybe they never even had debt and they're just going for it. They're paying off their house. They're getting a fancy new car, whatever it is, right? We're always comparing ourselves to see, am I going fast enough?
Yeah. The things I hate are those, how much money should you have saved for retirement by age 30, by age 45? I'm always looking at those I don't want to, because I know I'm going to be disappointed, but I can't help myself.
I feel like they make it up just to make you feel bad, because it's like horrible. They wouldn't report on that. Like, it wouldn't be clickbaity if it was like, oh yeah, by the time you're 35, you need to have $12 in your checking account and you're good. Like, it's always like, you need to have saved 17 times your income, or you're going to die and be destitute when you're old. That's what it's always says. And it's like,
so yeah, I get the comparison.
That's a perfect example, right? But okay, in this case, literally under the surface, this woman had an advantage that I couldn't see, right? And that's what it's like when we compare ourselves with money, because we don't talk about money. We don't share all the details of our financial situation, and we really shouldn't. When you compare yourself to someone, they might have financial swimming fins on, an advantage either from the start or throughout their journey that you can't see, and you'll never be able to see, right? I at least had the satisfaction of looking at that woman get out of the pool and see that she had swing fins on, and I was like, oh, I'm good. You know what I mean? But you may never see that. So like, So I was just like, okay, this is tidy. This is nice. I'm going to write a little thing about this because, you know, yeah, don't compare yourself financially because under the surface they might have an advantage that you'll never see. So that was the end of the analogy, and I took it no further, right? I did.
You sat in that sauna for another. Well, you got out, took a little break, went back in, and you kept thinking about that analogy.
I like to get out and get in the cold shower. You ever do that? That like you get out, you take a cold shower for like 30 seconds, and you hate yourself, and then you get back in the sauna. It feels amazing. So I do that sometimes. And sometimes I probably should do that because I'm taking these analogies way too far. It's like, go out, take a cold shower, then come back in. Just calm yourself. Right. But the analogy continues. Okay. So the next day or like a few days later, I went to the Y again, as I do every weekday. And I realized that there are swimming fins available for anyone to use. Along with, I mean, this again, can't sing the praises of the Y anymore. Like they have like water weights. Have you seen these water weights? They're like buoyant. You know what I'm talking about? Okay, these are cool.
Yeah, well, I've seen them on my little kids, 10 years ago.
No.
No,
not the wings, not the water wings. Not the arm plates. They have like these weights that are weights. Like, they're not weights. They're like styrofoam. Yeah. Okay. Not wings, weights. Anyways, they're buoyant. So like you put them under the water and you're supposed to hold them under the water. So they're like an opposite weight. It's kind of cool. Anyways, I never used one, but that's what they use in the aerobics class, in the water aerobics. Anyways, they have that stuff. They have like pool noodles. They got little floaties for the kiddos. If you bring your kids, they got all this stuff, but they also have communal swimming fins.
Here's a gross fin that someone else has stuck their foot in.
Yeah, I had that thought. So I was like, because like I go to the Y and I'm like always wearing my little shower shoes because like all the men in a generation above me or two, they didn't know about shower shoes. So, like nobody told them. Like, what is the deal with like? It's only like millennials that wear shower shoes. Apparently, I don't know what it is, but
my generation, we wore them too in college.
Okay, in college. Well, in college, yeah, you probably should, and it's probably fine. But like, yeah, I'm always wearing shower shoes, and then like when I'm getting dressed, I'm doing this like pitter patter thing on my shoes because I don't want my feet to touch the ground ever, because then you'll immediately die and your feet will fall off. No, but I saw these swimming fins, and I was like, I don't care. I'm putting them on, and I'm gonna be like this lady. I'm gonna be like, I wrote in the blog that I was like, is this Michael Phelps' mom? Is that? I'm gonna be Michael Phelps.
I just love how this story has lived in you. Like it was living in you for so many hours and days. I love it.
I just thought about it and even though I had this epiphany in the sauna where I was like, oh man, I played this comparison game and like, and she had an advantage, and I did all this effort for no reason, and I should have just been content, And then like literally the next day I was like, I'm putting on the shower or the flippers, and I'm gonna smoke everybody.
Were you hoping to see her in the pool that morning? I mean, right, you wanted to.
Maybe a little. I mean, maybe, I don't know. Maybe she wouldn't notice me.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, did she notice you? My guess is not at all.
That's the thing, is I would never recognize her because like I have these goggles on which are all scratched up, and also I don't have my glasses, so I can't see anything. So you can't see anything in the pool. Hence why I did notice that she had swimming fins on the whole time and had hidden advantage and all that. Anyways, next day, I decide to put the flippers on. And they're pretty gross. They're like ripped up. They've been abused. They are a communal resource.
But I'm sure they're very clean and disinfected on the inside.
I'm sure there's not a single fungus anywhere near these things. I mean, they do, to be fair, they do go in the chlorine pool. So like, no, they're probably still gross. Anyways, so I put them on. I didn't get foot fungus, so that's good. I put them on and I start swimming, doing my backstroke with the swimming fins on, and I am hauling just like Michael Phelps's mom, right? Like I am just poo, 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 and I'm loving it. Like I'm having such a fun
feel
time.
Amazing.
It did feel amazing, and it was more fun. I was like, "Oh man, this is great." But then I started to feel it. Okay, my legs were just absolutely burning. Like I was just like it was leg day at the gym. It's a whole different experience. And once I did the live and talked about this, all the swimming experts came in the comments and were like, "Ben, this is super common. If you want to work out your legs, you put on swimming fins." Like everybody knows this.
So it's not that you
that's the thing.
Were traveling. You weren't doing more laps, were you?
I mean, I was going faster. So I don't know if I did. I probably did do more laps overall, but like within within 1 or 2 laps, I was like my legs hurt more than ever in the pool. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the locomotion's coming from your legs, and there's all this resistance on your feet. So like my thighs are like burning, and it's good. I'm working out. Like that's the point. But I realized, okay, this is, even though I'm the one with the advantage now, I'm still working hard, and I'm working hard in a totally different way. So I go through, I get back in the sauna, I do my thinking. I start thinking about this analogy even a little more. And I realize, okay, this is really interesting. Even though Michael Phelps's mom is what we're going to call her, even though she had an advantage, she was still working really hard. Like even though she was moving so much faster, and she's probably having a lot more fun than me, and she wasn't even paying attention to me. She did have an advantage in that she was going faster, but she was still working hard. So I think we could turn this analogy again and say, okay, even if you do notice that one of your friends or one of your family members has an advantage over you financially that you don't have, it doesn't mean they also didn't work hard to get to where they're going, right? And even if it's you, I mean, I have a lot of financial privilege. I'm sure you do too, Ernie. If you're watching this, you have a degree of privilege, right? So even if it's you, if you're like, hey, I want to recognize my privilege, that's a good thing. But also recognize that you've worked hard to get to where you are. So I think we need to hold these things in tension and say, okay, yes, it's good to acknowledge your financial privilege. Let that lead you to be more generous, to give more generously, to help pull other people up and give them advantages that you had, right? That's a virtue. That's something that we should go after. But also recognize that just because you had advantages doesn't mean that you didn't work hard. And just because somebody else has advantage doesn't mean that they didn't work hard either, right? So it's an even further analogy. Just because you have the swimming fins on doesn't mean you're not working hard too. Yeah. And so just don't judge anybody. Like don't judge yourself, and don't judge anybody else, and don't compare yourself, because you may never know what kind of financial fins they have on. And if you're the one with the financial swimming fins on, still recognize you have done some hard work, but also recognize your privilege as well. And those are both good things. Hold those things in tension.
I love that. Thank you, Ben, for swimming. Thank you for sitting in the sauna and thinking through these stories.
I mean, is that on the clock time? Like, can I bill YNAB, while I'm in the sauna?
Absolutely.
Be like, oh, listen, I thought about all this.
No, but seriously, that really resonates with me. Especially the part about, even if you have that advantage, that privilege, and you can still work hard and you feel good about that. Just to share a little bit of my story, you're absolutely right, Ben. A lot of privilege, a lot of advantage in my own personal life. And this sticks out so clearly in my financial journey. It was, I forget exactly the time frame, but I know we had just paid off our consumer debt. So the only debt we had at the time was our mortgage. So we felt this freedom that we had never experienced before. And when we paid off that final debt, it was my student loan. Like cash flow, what is at its all-time best. And
yes, because you've been living. Well, it's not just the the minimum payments that were freed up, but also all the money that you've been putting extra on it. It's just like, oh man, the cash flow is through the roof.
Awesome. And like we felt like we could do anything we wanted with our money. And so we decided to get a new car. And we started going down the used car route. And then Christy just really wanted a new car. And I really wanted to buy her a new car. So we're like, all right, we're going to do this brand new car. Like, I think it was a 2021 we were looking at. So I guess that is the time frame. And so we were saving, like saving. I was like, we're going to pay for this thing in cash. And we had saved, oh boy, we were over halfway there. And like we were on track to get that car within the year and just super excited about it. And then we got a really generous financial gift from my parents. And that put us over the top and then some.
Nice.
And so right away at the point of that gift, we could buy that new car cash. And part of me was like, like,
I know exactly.
I mean, I was so thankful, and it was such a game changer. And I'm still appreciative.
But yes, like, I want to do it.
Right, like we had just launched into this new point of our adult lives together, and the money was really working for us, and we were hitting this goal. And so I felt like, I don't know, we didn't actually accomplish anything because, my parents kind of helped us close that gap. But in thinking through it in light of your story, I mean, if we hadn't done all that hard work ahead of time, that gift probably would not have been used for what we were planning to do with all the savings that we had accumulated at that point. Right? So we had put us in a position where we could use that exactly the way that we wanted. And thinking of it like that, I'm like, okay, I just felt better about the situation.
Yeah, I have a really similar story, Ernie. When I paid off my house, this was also, I think it was 2022 or so. A couple of years, maybe it was 2021 as well. When we finished off the house payment, which we talked about on Budget Nerds, I also had a gift from a family member, and we've been working on the house for like real aggressive, like just like more than double our monthly payment every month. We were just like going after it real hard, and we've been at that for 2 or 3 years, and we had 2 years left to go on the debt payment. And my wife's grandmother was getting older. My wife's grandpa had already passed away, and so she was looking. Okay, she's going to move in with family, and she sold their house, which they bought in like 1950 or something, and she sold their house, and she was like. She called us and she was like, I don't want to wait until I pass away to give some of this money away. So I'm going to give you guys a gift. And we were completely flabbergasted. And that gift was enough to finish off the house. Just almost like we like gathered some other money, to make it happen. Right. And so it took 2 years off our debt journey, and it was like not even a question. We were like, this is what we're gonna put it toward, because we were throwing everything we had at this house, right? We wanted to get it gone and not have the mortgage anymore. And I had the exact same feeling, Ernie. Like literally like 10 minutes after you have the call, and we looked at each other, we're like, the house, yeah, we're gonna put it on the house. I was driving with my wife, and I was just like, I feel weird about it. I mean, this is such a, I want to do it myself. You know what I mean? And it's like, can we just suffer for 2 more years? It's like, no, we can't do that. No, we're not going to do that. We chose to go for it. And so I felt like it kind of soured my story almost a little bit, but no, it doesn't. Like, we still worked hard. We still put ourselves in a place where we were able to take advantage of it. And yeah, we would have gotten there within a couple of years, right? But I also realized in that moment that I have like way more financial privilege than I ever thought I did. I mean, I was never expecting a gift like that ever in my life. And I was like, my wife and I, we talked about it, and it did help us realize, hey, you know what? We need to use some of this new cash flow to give more money away. And that was the main thing that we did. And I'm not sure we would have had that realization if we had been like, oh, we pull ourselves by our bootstraps. We did this, you know, we wouldn't have recognized not only the financial privilege we had because of that gift, but also all the generosity and all the advantages we had from the very beginning that led to that. I think we could have even forgotten that and not chosen to use a lot of that new cash flow to give more money away to other people. So I think ultimately that experience led me to be more generous, and it's made a better life for me and for my family. So yeah, recognize the privilege that you do have, the advantages that you do have. Let that lead you to be more generous, but also recognize the hard work and hold these things in balance. You know, you don't need to be down on yourself all the time, but you also don't need to act like you did it all when you have advantages, you know?
Love it. Well, so, thanks again, Ben. I loved kind of the format we did here, like story time with Ben, sharing a story, and we're pulling from that.
Hope you guys like it. Hope you don't mind all the details.
Yeah, and we did it in classic budget nerd fashion. Like we drew it out as long as we possibly could. But hopefully something resonated in you, and we would love to hear from you. So let us know in the comments. Send us an email at budgetnerds@ynab.com. Always love hearing from the community. But before we let you go, we do want to do a couple more YNAB wins because we know everyone loves these. I love YNAB wins, and we got a huge list of them. So let's keep tackling that.
And we do have another all YNAB wins episode scheduled to be recorded pretty soon. So you can look forward to that. All right, well, let's jump in. Okay, we have 2 YNAB wins coming in from an email. I'm sure I've seen the emails, but it's been so long, I don't remember all of them. So first one's from Eve, and Eve wrote in and said, I was a YNABer for a few years before I met my partner, now wife. About 3 years ago, I helped my wife transition to YNAB, and it was a major undertaking. She was always frugal and a budgeter, but the mindset shift was tough. However, happy to report she's got the hang of it. Recently, as she was doing her budgeting, she asked me to look at an incoming transaction she could not figure out for the life of her. After a bit of investigating, it turns out that because of YNAB, her bank account balance has been high enough to yield a $25 interest payout for her balance. When they say YNAB pays for itself, her story has proved that YNAB more than pays for itself. It's an investment in yourself and your financial wellness. I love that because it's kind of an example of what we're talking about. Like hard work sometimes leads to more advantages, right? And they kind of come together. So, I mean, like you, Eve, and your partner, you guys made this happen, right? And now you have more advantages that you can use to bless other people and yourself. So, love to see that.
My win comes from Sarah G. Sarah emailed long time ago. I have a very small YNAB win, but I was very excited about it and wanted to share. First, found YNAB almost 10 years ago and loved it and used it a lot. Then my husband lost his job and I fell out of using it and have struggled to get back on the YNAB train ever since. But in mid-May, I found myself determined to start using YNAB again and sticking to it.
Nice.
Listening to your podcast has helped me keep my mind in line with my budget and goals I want to accomplish, and I'm finishing up my first full month, and thanks to YNAB. I have kept enough money in my checking account to earn interest on it. Oh, interesting. So very similar. Yeah.
Oh, another one.
I didn't even know about my checking account. I didn't even know my checking account earned interest until this month. It may have only been 4 cents, but those cents mean the world to me. I can't wait to keep growing my money and growing those cents I get at the end of every month. Thank you, YNAB and Budget Nerds. Fantastic.
Oh, 2 stories of people if you use YNAB, you're just going to have more money.
We do hear that quite often, right?
Goes, right?
The interest example of I was finally able to get interest, even if it was only 4 cents. And that's where I love, like with YNAB Wins, it doesn't matter how big or small. Actually, we should even take those words out. Like a win is a win is a win. It feels the same whether you call it small or big. I love that. So yeah, congratulations, Sarah. Hope things are still going well.
Yeah. May your interest grow and grow forever. I mean, you could stick that in a other savings account. I'm sure you could get.
I'm sure everything is fully optimized at this point. So this is from almost a year ago.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because it's probably been a while now. So yeah, Sarah's got the whole thing going now. She's probably owns her whole town now. So there you go.
And as always, if you have a YNAB win, reach out in the comments. Otherwise, budgetnerds@ynab.com.
All right. We'll see you all later.
Happy YNABing.